I was thinking a lot about Abdul Ali Mazari and his legacy, and then it occurred to me that what Mr. Abdul Ali Mazari fought was a dual fight. It is a struggle for Hazaras, it is a struggle for Afghanistan, and it is a struggle for the universal value and virtue of justice. Throughout history, the fight for justice has often carried a dual purpose. It is at once for a specific group and a broader battle for justice as a universal principle. Few figures embody this dual struggle as profoundly as martyr Abdul Ali Mazari. Mazari's fight was, on the one hand, a struggle for our people, a struggle for an ethnic and religious group that was historically persecuted and excluded from power in Afghanistan. But he also fought for justice that transcends the borders of Afghanistan, that transcends our people as Hazaras. So today, I would like to draw on the similarities that we see that Ustad Abdul Ali Mazari had with other esteemed leaders, thought leaders, and fighters for justice, such as Gandhi, such as Mandela, and like Martin Luther King Jr. And therefore, I think the next 10 minutes, I will talk a little bit about addressing two core questions. The first question is, why was Mazari's fight for Hazaras a fight for Afghanistan? And the second question is, why was this fight for Hazaras and this fight for Afghanistan, a fight for justice all over the world? Abdul Ali Mazari's first and most immediate struggle was for the Hazara people, undeniably, a group that had been historically persecuted, massacred, and politically excluded in Afghanistan. But he did not frame this as merely an ethnic struggle. Instead, he saw it as a fight for the future of Afghanistan. Unlike other ethnic leaders who sought separation or ethnic dominance, his vision was one of inclusion. He did not fight for Hazara supremacy or autonomy, but for an Afghanistan in which all ethnic groups, Pashtun, Tajik, Uzbek, Hazara, and many more, had equal representation and equal voices. He fought against a broken system, Afghanistan that had long been ruled by central governments that favored one ethnic group while marginalizing others. Mazari knew that no state built on ethnic supremacy could ever survive. His demand for Hazara rights was a demand for Afghan unity. By fighting for Hazara's political participation, he was fighting for an Afghanistan where no group was treated as second-class citizens. He opposed what we call ethnic monopolization of power, and he did not call for the sole dominance of Hazaras, but for a shared government. And it is in this vision that he acutely resembles Mr. Nelson Mandela. We know Nelson Mandela as the man who fought against apartheid, that fought for the rights of black South Africans to not be treated as second-class citizens. But Mandela did not just fight for black South Africans. He fought for a new democratic South Africa with inclusion for all, whites and blacks. Mazari similarly fought for Hazaras, for their inclusion and for their national identity as Hazaras in Afghanistan. So like Mandela, Mazari understood that a nation built on exclusion would never survive. The second question that I alluded to earlier was, why was this fight for Hazaras and for Afghanistan, then a fight and a struggle for justice as a universal principle? While Mazari's fight was rooted in Afghanistan, it also extended to a more virtuous moral cause, the struggle for justice itself. His belief can be summarized in a simple sentence: no society can claim to be just if parts of it remain oppressed. Mazari's opponents, as Aghay Nikubin has already elaborated on, would like you to believe a lot of different things. But we know that his commitment to justice was not limited to geography or ethnicity. He stood against all forms of oppression, whether in Afghanistan or beyond. He rejected all types of discrimination, not just against Hazaras, but against any group that was denied basic rights. He refused to compromise with tyranny, even when it meant his own death. He believed that justice is not given, justice is demanded. No government or power structure ever gives equality. Equality is claimed and equality is fought for. And it is in these visions, in these points, and in this fight that we can see the clear similarities that our leader, Ustad Abdul Ali Mazari, had with Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. All of these men struggled, fought, and voiced their thoughts and their ideology for justice. Gandhi did not just fight for India, he fought for what we call a moral revolution. He fought for independence, yes, but the moral ideas were much higher. He wanted people to resist injustice without violence. Similarly, Mazari fought not just for Hazaras, but for justice itself. He was resisting oppression everywhere, and he would wanted us to resist oppression everywhere. Mr. Martin Luther King did not just fight for Black Americans, he fought for human rights. He fought for the idea that human dignity is non-negotiable. Mazari, just like King, saw this oppression, and he agreed that the test for moral legitimacy of a country, of an entire nation, is how its weakest link is treated. So why are these two fights, this fight for justice, but also this fight for an ethnic group and for a country, inseparable? Well, they are inseparable because we cannot ignore the oppression of a specific group. We cannot betray the principle of justice like that. To round this off, dear audience members, I would like to drive home 4 poignant aspects. We know that history remembers those who fought, but history immortalizes those who fought for justice. Mandela fought for Black South Africans, but also for a united South Africa. Gandhi fought for India, but also for the idea of moral resistance. King fought for Black African Americans, but also for human rights. And Mazari, our beloved Ustad Mazari, fought for Hazaras, and he fought for justice. Mazari's dual fight must be remembered because it reminds us that a nation is only as strong as it treats its most oppressed members. And justice is meaningless if it does not appeal to those who are in dire need of it. So I hope I have shown to you that Mazari's story is not just about Hazaras. It is not just about Afghanistan. It is a global story. His fight was not just for one people. It was the idea of justice itself. And that, I hope, concludes why we will continue to commemorate, even 30 years after his martyrdom, his ideas and his ideology, and we will continue his fight, inshallah. Thank you.